Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news, all right. Folks, buckle up because the NFL rumor mill is swirling with some serious potential blockbuster moves that could reshape the landscape of the AFC East, and more importantly, set the Buffalo Bills up for even greater success. Rumors are swirling that the Cincinnati Bengals might be making a bold move, considering trading their star wide receiver T. Higgins, and the implications are huge. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds crazy, right? But listen, the NFL is all about these high-stakes moves, especially when teams are trying to rebuild or retool for a deep playoff run, and Cincinnati might be doing exactly that. Sources like Adam Schefter and Diana Rossini have hinted at a trade that could send Higgins, a player who's been a key part of Cincinnati's offense, to the Bills. The Bengals, currently sitting at a disappointing 4-8 record, are looking to shed some cap space, around $22 million in cap hit for Higgins' post-holdout, and accelerate their rebuild, especially after Joe Burrow faced injuries that hampered their season. This is a team that's clearly rethinking their future, especially with their defense allowing over 31 points per game and the offense struggling to keep pace, with only about 198 passing yards per game. Cincinnati looks like they're prioritizing youth on the offensive line to protect their franchise quarterback, rather than holding onto a star receiver who might not be part of their long-term plans anymore. Now, Higgins, at just 26, is a true red zone weapon. I mean, the guy's got over 200 receiving yards and 30 touchdowns in his career, and this season he's been a reliable target, with 40 catches on 70 targets for around 575 yards and 7 touchdowns in just 11 games. His yards per game, over 52, is solid, and he's been especially productive in the red zone, where he's converted more than half of his contested catches, making him a nightmare matchup for defenses. His ability to make tough catches in tight windows, combined with his size and physicality, makes him a perfect fit for a team looking for a big-bodied receiver to help stretch the field and dominate in the red zone. And remember, Higgins has been limited recently because of a hamstring injury that kept him out of Week 9, but even in limited snaps, he showed flashes of his elite talent. He's averaged over 2 yards per route run, which is top 15 among receivers, and has a YAC, yards after catch, of over 280 yards this season. Statistically, he's comparable to some of the best in the league, especially in contested catch scenarios and red zone efficiency. His grading from PFF has been strong, and he's proven to be a reliable target, especially in clutch moments like against the Steelers, where he racked up 85 yards and 2 touchdowns, earning an 84. 2 PFF grade. Now the Bengals are looking to hit reset mode. They're freeing up cap space, enough to extend Joe Huber and possibly make some other moves, and they're reportedly considering a trade that could include a 2026 first-round pick, along with other draft assets, in exchange for Higgins. The rumors suggest Cincinnati might be targeting draft picks to rebuild their roster around younger talent, especially on the defensive side, where they've struggled with 22 sacks total this season. They're also eyeing other draft options, like a potential trade for Cleveland's picks or looking to bolster their pass rush through the draft. For the Bills, this is a game changer. Imagine adding Higgins to an offense already led by Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Buffalo's passing game has been good, but with Higgins in the mix, the entire offense gets a boost. His size and red zone presence could help improve their touchdown conversion rate, which currently sits around 58%, but could easily go up into the 70s with a true red zone threat like Higgins. His ability to create separation, averaging over 2 yards per route, plus his contested catch skill, means he can win those tight battles against zone coverage or aggressive defenders. This move could also be a significant boost for the Bills' third down conversions, currently sitting at around 40%, which could see a notable uptick with a reliable target like Higgins, especially in high-pressure situations. His presence on the field forces defenses to account for him, opening up more opportunities for Diggs, Shakir, and others. Plus, Higgins' route-running ability and physicality could complement the speed and agility of players like Shakir, creating mismatches all over the field. And what about the impact on the Bills' playoff push? Well, right now, Buffalo sits comfortably at 8-4, atop the AFC East with a plus 160 odds to win the division. But with the postseason approaching, every upgrade counts. Adding Higgins could push their Super Bowl odds from plus 800 to plus 500, making them even more dangerous. Their offense would be more versatile, more explosive, and better equipped to handle tough defenses like the Dolphins' secondary, which has been vulnerable, allowing over 220 yards per game. Higgins' big frame and red zone efficiency could be the X factor in tight playoff games, especially when facing divisional opponents who know the Bills well. Let's take a moment to talk about the bigger picture. The Bills have been building something special under Sean McDermott and with Josh Allen at the helm. Their offense, which has been solid all season, could now morph into a truly explosive unit with Higgins' addition. Allen, who's been averaging over 500 passing yards and 18 touchdowns, would have a new weapon that makes life easier, especially in those critical moments. His QBR of 92. One under pressure is already elite, but Higgins' ability to make contested catches and win in tight spaces could turn those clutch moments into guaranteed scores. And it's not just about the offense. Defensively, the Bills continue to be a top-tier squad, especially with their secondary. But having a more potent offense relieves some pressure on the defense, allowing them to focus on key matchups and keep the opponent's offense in check. Buffalo's special teams are also solid, but in the postseason, it's all about having that extra weapon, that game-changing presence. Higgins could be just that. Now looking ahead, the playoff odds are also shifting. Currently, Buffalo is considered a strong contender, but with Higgins in the fold, their chances of making a deep run increase significantly. The AFC is stacked this year, with teams like the Chiefs, Ravens, and Dolphins fighting for supremacy. But Buffalo's potential to make a splash in the playoffs could be exponentially greater with a player like Higgins. His experience, size, and clutch ability make him a perfect fit for the high-stakes environment of January football. Of course, all these rumors come with caveats. Nothing is set in stone, and trade negotiations are complex. The Bengals might decide they want more draft capital, or Higgins might not be interested in leaving Cincinnati. But if this move goes through, it would be a statement from the Bills that they're all in for a Super Bowl run this season. It would also send shockwaves through the AFC, signaling that Buffalo is serious about contending and adding weapons to maximize their window with Allen and Diggs. And let's not forget, the Bills have been consistent all season, and this kind of move could be the final piece needed to push them over the top. Their offensive line has improved, but adding a dynamic receiver like Higgins would be huge for Allen, especially in those tight games where every yard counts. Plus, with the Bills' history of making strategic moves at the deadline, this rumor fits right into their pattern of aggressive, smart additions aimed at bolstering their Super Bowl chances. So, Bills fans, I want you to imagine this scenario. Higgins in Orchard Park, running routes with Diggs, forming a nightmare for defenses. Allen's arm and his ability to extend plays become even more dangerous with that big target on the field. The Bills' offense could evolve into one of the most potent in the league, capable of putting up points in bunches and dominating time of possession. And if the defense continues to play at a high level, this team could be the one to beat come playoff time. But again, all of this hinges on whether Cincinnati pulls the trigger. If they do, the ripple effects will be felt across the AFC, and most importantly in the AFC East, where the Bills are already sitting pretty at the top. The Patriots are rebuilding, and the Jets are still trying to find their identity, but Buffalo's chance to cement their dominance could be cemented further with Higgins' addition. It's a move that could redefine their season and push them closer to that coveted Lombardi trophy. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the Buffalo Bills. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news.